Okay. There we go again. Okay. I think I'm live. All right. So the last time we made this little sun thing, in order to do that, I use an array to kind of shape what the sun looks like and how intense it is on the sides. And I also built in a fade so that it would fade with the background regardless of what the background is. Though right now I have it set to sky color. Which is something that we'll have to change later, but that's for later. I also had to make a function called a clamp to use that for my calculations to make sure that whatever formula I use to calculate the color of each LED, it never succeeds 255, because last time we found out that if it does exceed 255, it will just turn off that color. So that's why we made a clamp, to make sure that it will never go over 255 and it will never be lower than 0. And it automatically turns it into an integer, which is also nice. And I was thinking about, instead of using this function purely to do the sun, I could also do it to draw the moon and not use a separate thing for that. But I wasn't clear about that yet. And this was a test, so we're going to check that out. Yeah, and I made a sky definition of the sky color. And later I figured I don't need to do that. I could just, instead of turning this into variables here, I could just lift it up and say, for now, because it's something we are going to change, that's something stupid I did last time, was that I changed this value somewhere, but I didn't change it in the other location, which would gave me really funky values. So right now we say color is sky color. Does that work? Or do I need to kind of... doesn't work. Sky color is not defined. It is defined, just not with... Oh, crap. I have a special keyboard, and usually I have a function on it that if I hold a key for a few seconds longer, or a second longer, it will automatically give me the capital version of that. But I've turned it off. I had turned it off, and that's why it didn't want to go. And now it should. Will you run for me? Yes, you'll run for me. Cool. So that works. Good. That means if we want to change the sky color, we can easily do it up here. Good to know. So if we do want to turn it darker, let's just play with it a bit. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you can most likely can't really see it on the camera, but it's darker blue now. And now you can actually with the naked eye see that this is yellow and not white, which is nice. Which, yeah, it helps make it defined as a sun. I'm still thinking about what I'm going to do with the moon, though. Because, Because most likely, if I would use it for the moon, I would just have to copy paste this. But it also means that if there's something wrong with the two, that I don't have to look in the other one. Huh. Maybe I'll just copy this and make a moon version. And we can later decide if we want to combine them anyway. And this is going to be a moon. And we're going to add an argument to it, because we don't just want the position of the moon, we now also want to know the phase. Yeah. So here I already kind of I'm going to take that away. Just make it easy for myself. And I was thinking about the moon, and if I would give it a kind of glow, or if I would just leave it sharp. Because if I would give it a glow, then it would end up in the same dimensions as the sun. The sun that I have is 8x8, and the moon that I have right now is a 6x6. And if I would add that faint glow, it's only going to be like just one small glow, I think, and it would make it 8x8. Which would make it easier to copy it into the other function later on, because they would have similar dimensions. So yeah, sure, we'll do it that way. Where do I leave it? Sorry if you're watching this. There we go. So the full moon would be all ones. Should I use C instead of A and B? Just to make sure there's a difference. I don't know yet. Yeah, let's see. Took you away. I need to make sure they're all capital C's. Okay, the color of the moon, I was thinking about not the brightest, but relatively bright. And maybe more bluish. Than pure white. The thing is, it's going to work with sky color though, which it should. So I think that's going to be a problem in a bit, but let me say moon, and we're going to put it a lot further away, but keep it at similar height. And we're saying phase 1, even though we're not yet implementing that, but I just want to see how it looks. Okay, so that's our moon. Let me take the sky color out. Because the moon is not going to have that big of a problem with the sky color. At least not right now. Okay. Okay. Yeah. The extra shine around the middle is, around the edges is actually nice. It kind of, gives it more like a roundy shape instead of, what I was expecting. Else it would be too sharp, I think. Because it isn't really that beautifully round, but because of the extra sides, it makes it rounder, makes it look rounder, which is nice. Okay. So we have the full moon now. Now we need to add in the other ones, and that's where the phase comes in. Because eventually, oh god, I have to rack my brain for this. Yeah, oh, nope, not that one. That one. And go that one. Okay. So that's 1. Does it align correctly if I... Hope so. Do you align? Yes, you do align. Oh, that's nice. So I can keep my visual. And phase then comes into play here. Because this whole thing is position 0. So phase 0 is full moon. Then it should technically work now. Or did I break it again? Int object isn't subscribable. Does something to moon. 4.8. Did I write phase wrong? No, I didn't. I did do the array bit wrong though. Okay, and if I say 0. Will you do it then? No. Maybe I'll just need to add in another one. Okay, so it can't display an array that only has 1. Okay, so if I turn this back to phase, will you still work? Yes. Okay. So let's look at my drawing. What I was going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do with the outer globe, but we'll see that in a bit, I guess. Okay, and then we have to set phase to 1 because we want to see the second one. Okay. That outer glow kind of helps though, because it kind of reminds you that it's a circle and that it's missing a part. I know that's not the way it looks like in the sky, but right now it visually helps to recognize it as a circle that is supposed to be a circle, but that pieces are away from it. So I think I'm going to keep it for now. So I like it that way. Yeah, I'm going to keep it. Okay, then we need to have a quarter. And the quarter was simply half. Half on half. Yeah. Half a moon. Technically, I could tilt it a bit. So I know the moon doesn't really split down the middle from where we are. It kind of has like a small tilt to it, but only means that I'm making it more harder on myself. And the way that I've set it up now, I can always change it easily enough later. So I prefer to do that now. So let's make a crescent. For the crescent, I want something to come back a bit and hollow out another bit. Oop. But I don't know how much I want to hollow it out yet. So let's first draw it and see. How much I like it. No, I like it with that one still intact. Okay. Yes. That looks nice. Cool. And the other one is the new moon. And originally I was thinking about leaving like a thing around it. But with this glow, I might actually use that instead. Let's see what it looks like with just glow. And if it's enough for me to go like, I'll use it that way. I think I actually like that. And it's not that obvious. With a new moon, you actually don't see the moon at all. So that you can see like a ghostly shape of it would be, yeah, would be nice. Yeah, I actually like it this way. Well, that's a moon done. So yeah, I do want to have like the background a bit in there. For the simple reason that sometimes the moon comes out when it's still light outside. And I wanted to be able to still be accurate in that sense. Yeah. So I do eventually wanted to be able to look at what color is behind it. So it does the same thing that the sun does right now. But right now, what the sun is doing is cheating. Because this is just temporary. Okay, so we did that. We got ourselves a moon. Does make a lot of codes that way, but eh. Okay, so we have this. Fine. We have this, we have this. We're using clamp here too. Yes, we are. What should be our next step, though? I know we have like the sky itself that we can do. But I still, you might have noticed, I still haven't connected it to power. And I don't want to over ask my USB, even though it does state that the USB has a safety feature on it. So if you ask too much, it will just stop. But I still don't want to risk it. Something else we can do is make the ground. What I eventually wanted to do is to have a bit of a ground that also changes with the color of the day. But that's also something that I wanted to do. That the sky color was dependent on the position of the sun. I think what I have to do, which I didn't want to do yet because I haven't figured out how to, is animate the sun going up and down. But I have no idea how to easily do that because eventually I want to use a clock to do that. Another thing we can do actually right now is numbers. Because I do want to have like numbers in the side, but I have found hello, Hecadingus. I have found that you can make numbers. Let's just easy if you don't have a lot. I'm trying to remember what those numbers were though. I think if you have 2 by 5, you could create these numbers and use them. I'm trying to recreate them now as I remembered them. Two, three, four, five, don't know if that's right. Don't think that's right for 6 though. What was this one? For 6. Then we have 7. Which is easy enough. 8 is just 2 blocks of 4x4. And then 9 was just the reverse of 6. Which I think was just this one. And then you would have all the numbers on a 2x5 grid. Okay, continuous, what do you think? Which 6 should I take? The top one or the bottom one? Okay. So you can guess what I'm going to do with this. You think the top one? Okay. I'll try the top one first. Yeah, I'm gonna put it in array. Surprise, surprise. And that would simply be a number array that I can later just call out and say, I want number 0. And it would just say, okay, then this are the colors, or these are LEDs that need to light up. Which will work fine. So we're saying numbers. I'm having a bit. Okay. So it's going to be 1.1. I can just copy paste this 5 times. Why is my brain thinking so complicated? 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Okay, that's 0. Now let's make 1. Two, 3, 4, 5. Like 2, then 3. 4 has a little bit more 0 spots. I spotted a problem. a stupid thing on my part, which wouldn't surprise me. I tend to mirror my numbers and my letters. Oops. Okay, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. 5. And the 5 is the reverse of 2. It's not the same thing. And then 6. And we're going to do it like Hecadingus wanted to try first. So that's 6. 7. And 8. Then we have a 9, and then we have all of them. Now it would be handy to actually test this. So let's test this. How am I going to test this though? Let's make time. And the value is going to be daytime. And I think I might get in trouble with that one, but those are problems we can solve. Okay. Let's say date time is something we are going to want to do last because we want them to be the last thing that gets drawn because we want that to be on top. So we have to keep in mind of the order on which we call a function, which also means that if we actually put the ground in, or maybe even a tree, then those two things need to be one of the last things that actually get called, or else the sun will pass in front of a tree instead of behind one. What date is it today? I'm going to do it as my science teacher has taught me. Okay. So that's a value we're going to work with. What is it, Hecadingus? No, setting the date in how my science teacher taught me. Yeah, it's how my science teacher always taught me to uh, use a date and time as a number, in the sense that you begin with year, month, day, then hour, minutes, seconds. And it would be like one big number, and always the right side will be that's counting up, and the rest will move on like a normal number would. And computers also prefer it this way. It will always um, order things on first number first and then the rest. So if you want to order something by date, then it would be better to have the year first instead of the day first. Because then you would like have like always, if you set the day first, then you will have files that are on the 13th of every month, while you still have to figure out which month and which year, blah, 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 blah. So this is better. So if I want to add the hour to it, so this would be the number for right now, for us at least. Okay. So we're gonna have to use this similar. The range is different though, and the position, because we don't have a position right now. And what I actually want to do is hard code in the position. So I was thinking either it's going to go here or it's going to go up here. I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do for that. But I think if it's up here, then it has to change a lot dependent on what time of day it is. But that's something we could figure out later, I guess. I still haven't figured out, oh god, how am I going to do that? I have to take the integer apart so it could I tear an integer apart into different sections? I've already made it hard on myself. Let's just start with 2. Okay. So I made 2. Just do 5. And I also don't have color. Yeah, let's put in color. It might be handy to have. Let's not make it too bright though. So it's going to grab this color and it's going to go times. So we don't want it to grab shape or sky color, because we want this to be totally separate from that. but we want it to be numbers. I say a lot of Right now I can say date, time, because right now it's just a single digit integer, which should work. But it has no position. So we're going to say y. For now. So it's going to be in this corner. At least it should be in that corner. And it is. Yay! And if I change it to 6, number will turn to 6 too. Does look weird though, to be honest. This 6. I'll keep it for now. We can always change it later. But this is what we are looking for, which is good. I'm almost thinking of taking this array and put it on top with the numbers array so that we have all the arrays at the top and we don't have to like scroll through them every time. But that's okay. We have to find a way to I think there is. Usually there is. You have weird functions sometimes. Okay, randomize, no. String floats and integers, no. Slicing strings, modifying strings. Strings are a nightmare. Format strings, escape characters, no. String methods, no. String exercises, booleans. Operators. List, no. Change item list. Loop list. Sort list. Copy list. Join list. List method. Tuples. Oh. Sets. Dictionaries. These are loops. Maybe functions. Is there a function for this stuff? Number of arguments, no. Keyword arguments, no. Lambda. Ooh. Lambda seems like a whole different bag of cat. Nerds. Iterators. I know there were functions in which you could say to how many digits you want to do this, but I don't know. It's cool. Oh, I'm bad at scope. No, that's good to know. Date and time. Might actually be a good thing to already implement that, though. Just in case. Well, not just in case. I know I'm gonna need to add this later because I am going to work with date and time. Do you work? No module named date time. Yes, it is. It's right here. Okay. Is that a plugin that I have to like? Date time. Yeah, but what is the built-in datetime? Python's built-in datetime module. I don't see it. Okay, so I just started to look up things. I didn't know you couldn't see that on the screen. Sorry about that. To change the integer so that I could have an integer with multiple digits and that it would just work with every digit separately. Haven't found that yet. However, I have found how to do dates. That's this little bracket of code. To work with dates as date objects. The problem being it doesn't recognize date time module, which is gonna be problematic because I do want to use date eventually, so I can actually reference the date and the time on this thing. I'll just gotta try. This doesn't look like a MicroPython CircuitPython package. No, I'm not sure, because I have no idea what I'm looking for. Okay, I think I'll have to look at it later then. So my Python math. Oh. Oh, that's what I ran into when I was doing my microbit, my Meowbit. That I wanted to make it positive, but I couldn't find this function. Good that it's going to do me now, but yeah. Ceiling, floor. Do I have to, like... I could use a string, but remember what I just said, that strings are a nightmare? And I wasn't kidding. Strings are a nightmare. Just for shits and giggles, I'm going to... What are you going to do to me? Index out of range. Gotcha. Most likely, I'm already returned the list where the string has been split at each match. No. I could also turn it into an array. This is a very array heavy build. It has to be something like span or something. I'm going to regret this, but I'm going to try string. So now it's a string. Great. Then in this function, I'm going to need to pull it apart. It means I don't know. Because strings have so much functions to actually just run through it. From these things. There it is. That one. You can actually say, I want it from that position. Get the character from position 2 and all the way to the end. Get the character from the start to position 5. Not included. Get the character from position 2 to 5. Not included. Would this also work on an integer? Let's try that first, because I would really prefer to continue working with an integer. Here it is. Time, date. And then we... You can't just say 1. So I always have to say does not include. Get character position 2 all the way to the end. No. From O in. When I say this, get the character from position 2 to position 5. Does it mean 5 is not included? I don't know. Oh well. Don't know if this works either way. Character 1. Is this how you usually grab out your code? Yes, yes it is. Okay, here it calls it, then it says on 6.8 it craps out. Nice, I pity it would have been so nice. So next time, Heckatingas. Nighty-night. Crap out. Yeah, that craps out. It's called slicing. Let's just do a Google search. Well, I'm not the first one to look for it, though. Splice an integer into digits to complete an SMBN checksum. Okay. How to splice the integer and get input from a user in Python. Okay. Some are saying, turn it into a string. Okay, what did they say? That's an integer. Use a string class to convert the integer to a string so we can iterate over the string. The next step is to use a list of comprehension to iterate over the string. Strings are iterable, those are not. So the first step is to convert the integer to a string. Okay, I can guess why this is a thing. Because an integer is a number that we comprehend, but the computer turns it into something different, I think. It turns it more into maybe a hex count, which is something that doesn't go from 0 to 9, but it goes from 9, 16, 15, 16. So, but the thing is, if I turn it into a string, right? I can turn it into a string, slice it, and then I still need to turn it back into an integer. Which is a hassle. That way I could turn it into an array on itself, though. Okay. But let's just do it. Current date is I'm copying code right now from website and see for X. Oh, it's a one code loop. And then we make it string of date. Okay. And let's just say print current date. says 2, 2. But this is technically a string, isn't it? No, forget. Then we say current date 1,000,000,000. Which should be 2 in our case. Hey, it actually works. Okay. Okay. Yay. Then we need another for loop. In range of 0 to no, it's not. Length of the array times 3. No, it's length of array. Now I just need to figure out how they type it in Python. Len, all right, okay. Is len and then this one. Yep. Okay. So technically what I'm doing now I have to create an empty thing. Because technically, if it makes like the second number, I turn this into Z. Are you? No, you're not a capital Z. Does it still work, or is it giving me? Yes, it's giving me an error. Error, invalid syntax. Of course it's invalid syntax. You're absolutely right. 7. 7. That is not right. Print Z. What do you think Z is? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, it's going so fast that it's going to 7. That's the last thing. Okay. Fine. I guess. And it overrides all the numbers that come before. Okay. That's okay. Because what we need to change is that the Y changes with the Z. But if I only say like 2 times Z, plus times 2, is that correct? Or is my math off? Ooh, but it is looking interesting now. 2, 2, 0, 9, 2, 7. I can read it, but not that great. But I was on the right track. Yes. And if I now add onto this number and say this, will you still work? Yes. It will go through all the numbers. Oh yes. That I like. Cool. Not that it's legible, mind you, but it does take more space than I thought. So maybe I'll just use it with time, along with time. Let's see. Oh. That seems doable. Let's take out these prints because they are annoying me. Cool. So we actually have numbers in here too. Yay! The things you can do by just Googling stuff. Okay. So maybe next time I will do the sky. Well, I do need to do the array for the sky though, because then I can make the sun and the moon move. I have no idea how I'm going to do that. Let me think about it. Usually when I sleep on it, I figure it out in my dreams how I'm supposed to do it. I'm going to need to put a weight in there though. But I think that's enough for today. Actually, did a lot now. We have the numbers. We have the moon set up pretty nicely. So, yeah, that's gonna be cool. Give me moon. Maybe a crescent moon. People like crescent moons. Yeah, there we go. Well, hopefully I see you guys next time. And as always, if you have any tips, ideas, suggestions, or ideas, let me know. Then I might be able to implement them and get it to work better, because I'm not that good at that yet. And I'll hopefully see you guys next time.